What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Conciencias Con Cocktails with me, Javier Pedroza. So listen, how is everyone's week going? I know that we've had a long week already, and I know that 4th of July was last week, and so I hope that everyone had a safe holiday weekend. But we're back at it this week, and so again, thank you again for tuning in. As many of you know, we are here every Thursday at 6 p.m. on Solivity Magazine, Solivity Latinx, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, we're on it. I mean, all we have to do is search. Also, be sure to follow us on IG at Conciencias Con Cocktails. So today we're ready to do, as we do every week, we will open discussions, controversial topics, ask questions, and receive opinions without any judgment. Today's cocktail is a Boricua cocktail from the 1850s. This piña colada was created back in 1850 in Puerto Rico. We share it all around the Caribbean and the world. So, salud. I'm going to take a quick sip because, you know, it would be just rude. One sec.
Salud.
Salud. Salud, amor y dinero.
Eso así. So guys, the reason why I chose today a piña colada is really to compliment my phenomenal guests today, who are also my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. Again, let me just give you a quick little run through for your cocktail. If you didn't make it at home and you want to quickly make it, 2 ounces of rum for your cocktail that, you know, we're using alcohol, 2 ounces of Bacardi. I mean, come on, we're Puerto Rican, so we have to use Bacardi, you know what I mean? Have 1.5 cup of ice, half a cup of pineapple, frozen, since we're doing frozen pineapples work. And all you do is put it in a blender, coconut cream, and you're done. It's so easy. It looks a lot more complicated than it really is, but it's really 4 or 5 steps, and you have it, and it's done. So also to tune in throughout the show and party with us during CO3 Lounge segment today, because we have a guest choreographer, Jesus Aponte, who is a 2-time world salsa champion, who will be giving us a full 15 minutes of salsa, arm styling. You know, he does it all. So I am so happy that he's here. So you definitely don't want to miss it. All right, so let's jump right into Spotlight. In Spotlight, we talk about our trending news. And, you know, this past month, I mean, I guess the start of the year has been quite the year. But, you know, now we're going to start a little bit on the sadder part, but we have to talk about these things because, again, we don't talk about it, nothing's going to happen. So hashtag I am Vanessa Gillen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a very tough story for me to cover because my mother was in the Army and my mother is an immigrant. And so when I read the story, I was like, wow, this could have happened to my mom, right? But unfortunately, you know, the 20-year-old Fort Hood soldier, she has been missing since April, and the military, you know, is saying that they have identified her remains. The remains were found last week in a shallow grave near the Texas Army base. The Army investigators told the family Gillen was beaten to death with a hammer before being removed from the base. The main suspect in her killing, Specialist Aaron David Robinson, died by suicide. To the family, Gillen had been planning on reporting Robinson for sexual harassment. So we will continue to monitor the story and seek justice for Vanessa for sure. In other unfortunate sad news, Glee actress Naya Rivera is presumed dead after disappearing at a lake in Southern California, according to the Ventura County Sheriff's Office. And I quote, we're presuming that an accident happened and we're presuming she drowned in the lake. Search and rescue efforts for the actress have now shifted to a recovery operation. And the goal is still to bring Miss Rivera home to her family. So we pray for strength for the Rivera family. And, you know, I hope they get all the answers that they deserve. And more joyous news, Hamilton, the musical, is on Disney+. The movie version of the smash hit hip-hop musical Hamilton is now available on Disney+, and we can watch it anytime. This film performance, I mean, it's perhaps the biggest Broadway production of the decade, you know, this last decade. And it's fantastic from the dancing, the costumes, the singing. I mean, Renee Elise Goldsberry, who played Angelica, the rewind scene is incredible. Just remember, if you haven't watched it, remember to look out for the rewind, like the rewinding. Look out for that scene because it's incredible. Leslie Oderman Jr., who played our third vice president, Aaron Burr, to Philippa Sue, who played Princess Eliza, is who I call her, because to me, she was a princess on that stage. I can go on and on. The King, Jonathan Graff, George Washington, Christopher Jackson, Anthony Ramos, who played Lawrence and Hamilton's son. I mean, and our friend John Rua, who played General Charles Lee, and he was part of the ensemble. Outstanding to watch. You have to watch it. There's so much history around Manhattan. And the quotes, I mean, for instance, if you don't stand for something, what do you fall for, right? We can certainly put that to practice today. I mean, to be honest. Also, another thing that we can say is when Lafayette and Hamilton say, immigrants, we get the job done. And we sure do. You know what I mean? So a lot of things that we all, it doesn't matter that it was back in the day, history is a great way to learn the history. It's a great way right now that we are downtime. Let's use this time to get educated. I mean, let's just fill our heads with more and more and more information so we can make up our own decisions and not, you know, follow the status quo and just, you know, do what we've been doing for many, many years. Also, I'm super excited because Mucho Amor is on Netflix, and Walter Mercado, may his soul rest in power. What an icon. I mean, Netflix Mucho Amor captures the intimate life of Walter Mercado. In the new documentary, the famed Puerto Rican astrologer narrates the story of his life, his fame, and the disappearance from the spotlight, which we were all like, where's Walter? And now, once you watch this, you'll understand why he had to take the break. It was more of a forced thing, but I'm not going to ruin it, but you have to watch it. But again, I know that for me, growing up with Walter Mercado in Puerto Rico, when Walter came on, all I heard was, shh, Walter's on. No, we couldn't speak. We couldn't say a peep. All I heard was Escorpión, Capricornio. And until that last sign was not read, you did not speak in the house. So again, I always knew of him as a very positive source of energy, that he literally came into our homes for 15 minutes and just gave us all of these beautiful energy, one cape at a time, because the production, what? Lady Gaga has something to learn from Walter. I mean, this man was incredible. And again, the timing is what we need to take a look at. But again, I'm really happy that the special got made, and that if for that 2% in the world that does not know who Walter Mercado is, they're going to get to know him now. So we're going to get started right now with the show. And I am so excited to introduce our first guest. She is beautiful. She's an accomplished woman who is one of my favorite title holders of the Miss USA pageant. Since her crowning moment, she
All right,
became
ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Actress, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and host of NASDAQ Cultural Capital on Facebook Watch. Please help me welcome a friend to CO3, Mrs. Susie Castillo.
Hi, thank you. Wow, what an introduction. How are you, Javier? It's so good to see you and so awesome to be here. Thank you so much for asking me to be a guest.
Oh my God, I couldn't think of anyone else that I want to speak to about all the wonderful things that we're about to speak to, because I'm a fan. I'm a Susie fan. I think that we should create a hashtag. We should create a whole team around you, because I mean, you are a busy lady. Busy lady. So again, thank you for being here with us today.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be, supporting a fellow Latino doing amazing things. I love your show. I love all the educational aspect, which is so important to know, where you came from, what your roots are, all of that, you know, your culture, even if you didn't grow up with it, like learn it. I'm always like trying to encourage my friends and people, you know, even if they're white, you know, whatever they are, it's like, well, you're not just white, like your family is from somewhere. And even if they've been here in America for generations, like learn about your ancestry. Learn about, it's important to know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just to give the audience a little bit of backstory, Susie and I met a few years ago when I had the opportunity to style Susie for the Puerto Rican Day Parade, because you were an ambassador, right?
I was actually co-hosting the pageant. I co-hosted. It's like a pageant, the parade, the Puerto Rican Day Parade. No, they asked me. The organizers of the parade asked me to co-host the pageant, and I co-hosted it. I think it was 3 years, and I believe you styled me for all 3.
I think you did. Remember that beautiful gala? So that's where I got to know Susie, and automatically, obviously, once you meet Susie, you're just like, hermanita, like just sister forever. So thank you again for being with us. And again, I know that you created a name for yourself in various branches of the entertainment business, beginning with becoming the 3rd Latina to be crowned Miss USA in 2003. So I'd love to start with that. You know, I know that following the first Latina contestant, who was Laura Martinez, I believe, from Texas, at the time of your crowning, did you realize what a great accomplishment that was?
You know, it was a great accomplishment personally for me, for my family, right? Because my mom came to the US when she was 18. She graduated high school in Juana Diaz in Puerto Rico, and she moved here like her older brothers and sisters to work, to send money to my grandmother, you know, because my grandfather died when my mom was 9 years old. So, and they had 19 children. So a big family. So of course, you know, it became the responsibility of the older kids, right, to help out mom with the younger kids, right, to work, to send money back. And so when my mom, you know, after she graduated from high school, that's what she did. And so, you know, after, you know, she got married to she met my dad working at a factory. He was from the Dominican Republic, and they met, they fell in love, they got married. They had 3 kids, 3 girls. I'm the second. And when I was about 6 years old, my dad just split. He decided he didn't want to be a father and a husband anymore, and left my mother with no money and 3 kids. So it was a really difficult time. And so you can imagine, right, the struggle of a single mom. I mean, my mom barely spoke English. We had to translate everything for her. I remember as a little girl translating things at the doctor's office for her, or, you know, with whatever. And, you know, as a young family being on welfare to help get through those tough times, you know, but my mom put all 3 of her kids through college. We graduated from college, and at age 23, you know, I had this dream to move out to Los Angeles and become an actor and work in entertainment. Hosting was something that kind of happened by accident. I always had my sights on acting, and I knew that I had to move 3,000 miles away, and I didn't know how would I get from point A to point B in a safe way too, right? Because you hear of all these, how predatory Hollywood can be, right? And I saw the pageant as an opportunity to open those doors, to meet the agents that I needed, maybe a manager, right? So that when I came out to LA, I could have have my feet on the ground already somewhat. And so I entered this pageant. And so the moment I won, I worked really hard for it. And when I won, all I can think of was, oh my God, what this moment means for my mom and for other single moms who are working their butts off to get their kids ahead, you know, and get their kids the education that they never had, right? I mean, my sisters and I were the first ones in our family to graduate from college. That was an accomplishment all in itself. And then for me to then go on and win Miss USA and to become only the 3rd Latina, it was just, it was mind blowing. I mean, I was beside myself. I watch, if I go back, whenever I go back and watch the Miss USA 2003 pageant and I see that crowning moment, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I did that.
Yeah, and your Titi Lidia.
My Titi Lidia. Yeah, my Titi Lidia, who everybody always thinks is my mom.
There's a beautiful woman who was just screaming from the top of her lungs. And that is Titi Lidia, you know what I mean, who flew from Puerto Rico to be there with you, right, Susie?
Yeah, she came. I mean, there were a bunch of people in the crowd, thankfully, you know, that I was so blessed to have so many people come out. You know, they all flew out. The pageant was in San Antonio, Texas, and everybody flew out to watch and support me. And Titi Lidia flew in from Puerto Rico because, you know, every delegate got 2 tickets for their parents. And because I only have one parent, my mom decided to bring Titi Lidia. So it was my mom and Titi Lidia sitting with all the other parents, you know, in the parent section. And when I won, they cut to the parent section and you can see my mom falling behind Titi Lidia and my aunt just freaking out.
It was such a good moment. So in your opinion, how has the beauty pageant evolved since then?
Yeah, you know, I think it's evolved tremendously. I think, and it's funny because I go back and watch the year that I won, which was a long time ago now, in 2003, and they really did a great job, I thought, that year of highlighting the girls, you know, and what they've accomplished and who they really are. And with mine, it's